Because Floyd "Money" Mayweather Jr. is back, and he's reminding the world exactly why they either love him or love to hate him. At 49 years old, this man is still out here in the gym looking like Father Time forgot his address. The speed is still blinding. The reflexes are still razor sharp.
Slide and drop. Punch it, wait till here we go. Drop, drop. Walkie, walkie, walkie. Pitch it. Pitch it. Six. Punch it. Pitch it. Watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know their distance.
The footwork still makes younger fighters look like they're moving through concrete. Watch him train for even 60 seconds, and you'll feel that familiar, uncomfortable feeling creeping back. The one where you reluctantly admit that Floyd Mayweather might genuinely be built different from every other human being who has ever laced up a pair of gloves. He floats, he pivots, he snaps combinations with the kind of controlled explosive energy that shouldn't belong to a man closer to 50 than 40. This isn't nostalgia. This is a walking, breathing, head-rolling reminder that the most defensively gifted boxer in the history of the sport hasn't forgotten a single thing he ever learned. The shoulders roll, the eyes stay cold. And those hands still move like they're operating on a completely different timeline from everyone else in the room. But here's where the story gets deliciously complicated. Because behind all that glory and greatness, whispers are getting louder. Why exactly is Floyd doing this?
14-year-old kid that doesn't know half as what I know, but he's got the pace, he's got the movement. And even though Floyd's 48, he'll still have more movement and pace than Mike. So then it's going to be, ooh, I want to get him. So to me, it's one of those you want to watch between your eyes. But when I heard, I thought, wow, really? But then you're going up against Floyd Mayweather. This guy was unbeaten as a fighter. He still physically has ring craft. He still physically can move about the ring and do what he has to do. I think for Mike Tyson, he's going to be very frustrated. He will want to lay a shot on him to get rid of him, but unfortunately, you slow down. Father Time gets the better of us all, and even though I think when it comes to a fan's favourite, I'm quite sure most of the fans would love to see Mike Tyson put Floyd in his place, and that's probably what will be the attraction as well. But you've got to remember, Mike Tyson's 59 years old. You've got to remember, Floyd Mayweather is still hitting the bag in the gym. He's still moving around, even though he's 48 years old. So you've got to remember.
Why is a man with a reported net worth that once floated around 9 figures suddenly suiting up to share a ring with Mike Tyson in what the entire serious boxing community is already side-eyeing as a glorified pay-per-view spectacle? The answer, according to those brave enough to say it out loud, has 3 letters. M.O.N.E.Y.
It's going to happen April 25th in Congo. That's the plan right now.
In the Congo? Wait, is Don King part of this? It's in the Congo?
Let's bring him back, right?
Hey, let my people go, baby. Let's get it.
These are the only 2 living icons, boxing guys. Mike Tyson is an icon. All right, Floyd Mayweather, that's debatable, but Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, that's debate. I mean, by now they're probably icons. Mike Tyson, icon versus icon, in an exhibition, F it, you might as well. I want to say this though. If you guys thought Mike Tyson was pulling punches against Jake Paul and that wasn't real, well, he ain't gonna pull no punches against Floyd. Like, that dude has shown that he hated. Remember his faint punch at Floyd? Floyd ain't moved, though.
The clue, after all, has been in his nickname this entire time. Floyd "Money" Mayweather doesn't do anything unless the numbers make sense. And the numbers here, rumored to be staggering, apparently make a whole lot of sense. This isn't about legacy. Both of these men are already immortalized.
Troubles because of the money he owed to the IRS, because of the terrible, terrible business and real estate investments that he's made. And apparently, some of these have gone under, and he is owed back rent, or he is owing back rent, and he is delinquent on a lot of payments for a lot of different things right now. These things seem to have added up for Floyd. And now it's pretty apparent that not only is he doing these, bank robbery style exhibitions, but it looks like he absolutely needs to do it, which is very, very sad. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Floyd Mayweather as an individual outside of the ring, but I never want to see athletes have their money mismanaged or mismanage their own money so badly that they go broke in retirement, and it looks like that's kind of what's happening. And here's a snippet from Business Insider, because
You can't add to what Floyd Mayweather has already built. The 50-0 record sits there like a monument carved in granite. Nobody is buying a ticket to see Floyd prove something. They're buying a ticket because Floyd Mayweather, in any context, at any age, against any opponent, is still a cultural event. The critics naturally are sharpening their knives. Wade Plemons.
I'll make as much money as we can while we can, and then get out of the sport. But with these two, they're multi-millionaires. And I want to get into the tail of the tape and talk about exactly the records and all of that stuff with it. But first, I just want to say, I believe that these are doing this for different things. Mike Tyson is doing it purely for the money. Purely for the money. Floyd is doing it for the money as well, but also, I believe Floyd's doing it for that limelight. You've seen the numbers that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul got, and I think this is the most viewed fight of all time, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I might be wrong in saying that, but I'm sure it was. It was hosted on Netflix. And Floyd's been one in the past with his ego that he wants to just, be in that limelight all the time. And when you're not in the limelight all the time, you want to have that limelight. Floyd's got all of the money in the world.
Never one to mince words. Has stepped forward to voice what a significant portion of the boxing community is quietly thinking. That this entire spectacle is disappointing. That Mayweather's motivation is transparently financial.
Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules. Exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting. Forget all that. These things can get figured out. The fine details. The fact that it was announced. Why announce something with no date or location attached to it? Trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again. I think if this match was made on the heels of Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., I think this would be blockbuster. I think people would be falling over themselves to.
And that fans who genuinely care about the sport of boxing are about to be served a circus when they ordered a championship meal. Plemons has gone further. raising eyebrows across the boxing world by suggesting that Mayweather's financial situation may not be as pristine as the public image suggests. Headlines have been circulating. Shocking, jaw-dropping headlines.
Dollars in debt, property foreclosures, multiple lawsuits piling up. Mayweather's attorney strongly denies he's any kind of financial distress, but the headlines aren't slowing down. 54 million alleged dollars in debt. So it makes sense why they would want to do this, and it's strictly for money. Let's be honest. This is a clear money grab, but this is going to be a terrible fight. This is not going to be a fight that anyone outside of watching Mike Tyson walk to the ring and the idea that maybe he'll knock out the little guy in Floyd that Tyson for a long time didn't like. You know, for a long time called Floyd a small little angry man or a small little scared man because he couldn't walk his kids to school by himself, mainly because Floyd had, he kind of disrespected Muhammad Ali, who was Mike Tyson's favorite fighter and one that he would never put himself above. But Mike's 60 years old, and if there was a time for Mike to get him and knock him out or whatever, it never would have happened because they were in completely different weight classes and XYZ. If you wanted to settle it outside of boxing, that's one thing, but now
Claiming that the man who once boasted about spending more on a single weekend than most people earn in a year might be carrying tens of millions in debt. His attorney has come out swinging, firmly denying any financial distress with the kind of aggressive confidence you'd expect from someone representing Floyd Mayweather. But here's the thing about boxing. The denial almost always makes the story bigger.
Pacquiao loved me as a ref, too. They both did.
But you've done a lot of Floyd fights.
And I've done a lot of Manny Pacquiao fights. Matter of fact, at one point in time, I had done more Pacquiao fights than I had done Floyd fights.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, they were close neck to neck, but...
Do you know how many? How many Floyd fights have you done?
Well, I did, because I did a lot of his exhibition fights after he retired. And believe it or not, I could negotiate how much I make on those exhibition fights, whereas on the professional fights, the commission made that decision.
So there's no favoritism, Floyd, you just...
That's right. And the other thing that made me favorites, on certain fights, our commission will give each camp the name of 3 referees and say, pick one. It don't mean this is the one you're gonna get. And then they'll give them the name of 5 judges and say, pick 3. Don't mean that what you pick you're gonna get. But at least they're getting, the commission is getting their voice as to who they choose. And after a certain amount of time, if Kenny Bayless' name keeps coming up, then that says something about my work.
Yeah.
That says something about my work in the ring.
Roy, you ever had a chance to pick a ref or petition for a ref?
I have had a few chances to accept or deny. And there have been several times I have denied because I felt like the referee was more into the other guy or was more into the other guy's promotional team.
You remember that ref?
I do remember a few of them, but I'm gonna tell you like this, I ain't gonna call no names because, you know, I don't like to drop no salt, but in the second Bernard Hopkins fight, this referee, I could tell right away, was for that side and not this side.
When you have to publicly announce that Floyd Mayweather is not broke, you've somehow managed to make everyone wonder a little harder whether Floyd Mayweather might actually be broke. Enter Tony Jeff, who throws a completely different accelerant onto this already blazing fire. Forget the money angle for a second. Or at least add something equally powerful beside it, ego. Tony Jeff's argument is compelling and, frankly, very difficult to dismiss.
Remember, these guys are individuals, they're fathers, they're brothers, or whatever, and they still want to earn a massive chunk of money. Where's Mike Tyson? Whatever they're getting paid. Where's Mike Tyson at 59 going to earn this kind of money? Where's Floyd Mayweather at this time of life going to make this kind of money? It doesn't matter what we say about legacy. These guys are still going to live. These guys are still thinking, you know what, I'll take the heat, I'll take the criticism, but you know what, my bank account's all right, my family's all right. And I know it's crude, and I know it takes the shine off it, but that's real talk. So these guys are now in a position where where people want to pay them a lot of money to fight each other. It's against somebody they don't like. So again, ego's going to get the better of common sense. With Mike, as far as...
Floyd Mayweather is a man who has spent his entire adult life being the most talked about, most watched, most polarizing figure in combat sports. Then Mike Tyson and Jake Paul happened. The world watched. Records were broken. The internet exploded. And somewhere in whatever palatial residence Floyd Mayweather currently calls home, A television was on, and Floyd was watching, and Floyd was doing the one thing Floyd Mayweather absolutely cannot stand doing.
Sampson said,
Ariel Helwani recently expressed a shocking opinion about the upcoming fight, saying it is unnecessary and that he does not want to see it. He emphasized serious concerns about the risks involved, noting that both fighters are past their prime. According to Ariel, stepping into the ring at this stage is inherently dangerous, and while fans might be curious, the matchup carries significant physical risk. He highlighted that the fight prioritizes spectacle over safety, reflecting a growing debate in boxing about whether nostalgia-driven matchups should take place when the participants' health could be at stake.
Today's economic times.
Watching someone else break records that he believes should belong to him. Jeff's theory is that Mayweather doesn't just want a payday. He wants the throne back. He wants the viewership numbers. He wants to reclaim the spotlight that, even for one bizarre November evening, belonged to a 60-something Iron Mike Tyson and a YouTube personality from Ohio. That narrative? That's not just interesting. That's Floyd Mayweather levels of fascinating. Meanwhile, Ariel Helwani.
Economic challenges, these corporations and companies, they're looking to make profit. And if they put out a pay-per-view, and a lot of people, another thing is the fighters. I'm blaming the fighters too, because there's a lot of guys, they're not bigger than the fighters of yesteryear. That's why you can have a Floyd Mayweather and a Mike Tyson whose brands are so big. This is going to be a big fight. It's going to be, just because it's a freak show, circus fight, whatever you want to say. Some people are going to be mad at it. I don't want to see it, blah, blah, blah. But the curiosity is always going to get the best of the masses, especially if they put this on Netflix or Amazon or whoever, right? And that's the reality. A lot of these new fighters, Gen Z fighters, people under 30, they're not marketing themselves, where everybody sees a picture of Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn or Virgil Ortiz and know who that person is, right? Versus past fighters, everybody, at least at the time, they would have known who Mike Tyson was. They would have known who Roy Jones Jr. was, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, right? That's the reality of it. So that's how we got here. That's definitely how we got here. And then the other thing is piracy, people being cheap and not wanting to pay for great fights that we've had that have come with a paywall. And then now these companies see that and they're like, we're going to get our money one way or the mother effing other. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And that's the reality of it. So
the man who has covered more of these chaotic, breathless, announcement then silent situations than arguably anyone alive, is pumping the brakes with the seasoned caution of someone who's been burned before. Helwani's concern isn't whether Floyd can do this. His concern is whether anyone has actually figured out the when, the where, and the how. Because this is the part of high-profile exhibition matchups that the press conferences never mention. The maddening fog of vague dates, shifting venues, mystery rule sets, and promotional announcements that seem to evaporate into the ether the moment the initial buzz dies down. Helwani is also asking the harder question, the one that nobody promoting this event wants to hear, which is whether the public has any genuine appetite for another Tyson exhibition so soon after the last one. The Jake Paul fight delivered something. It delivered drama, spectacle, and genuine moments of, wait, is this actually happening? But lightning rarely strikes the same place twice, and Helwani's skepticism about sustained public interest feels less like pessimism and more like hard-earned wisdom from a man who has watched too many of these things not quite deliver on their extraordinary promises. Roy Jones Jr., however, is dreaming bigger than all of them. And honestly, his dream is the most genuinely electrifying thing to come out of this entire conversation. Jones Jr. is floating the idea that this Tyson exhibition might not be the end of the road, but the beginning of an even more outrageous chapter. Floyd Mayweather returning to professional boxing for a rematch with Manny Pacquiao. Read that sentence again slowly and let it settle. The demand has never actually gone away. The first fight, that 2015 mega bout that split the sporting world in two, left millions of fans with the uncomfortable feeling that they'd watched something incomplete, something unresolved. Pacquiao's camp has been vocal. The public appetite is undeniable. And if Floyd walks out of a Tyson exhibition looking the way he looks in training videos, sharp, precise, fundamentally untouchable, the conversation about a Pacquiao rematch stops being fantasy and starts being a negotiation. Johnny Nelson cuts straight to the heart of the matter with the kind of plain-spoken honesty that only someone who has actually lived this life can deliver. Legacy, Nelson explains, is a luxury. Legacy is what you think about after your bills are paid, after your family is secure, after the financial machinery that surrounds a professional fighter. And there is always machinery, always handlers and promoters and lawyers and hangers-on, has been properly and permanently satisfied. For men like Tyson and Mayweather, who have both experienced the terrifying vertigo of watching enormous fortunes dissolve faster than they were made, the chance to generate life-changing money in a single evening isn't something you weigh against your reputation. You take it. You take it, and you don't apologize for taking it. Because the alternative, walking away from 9 figures because critics might call the fight a freak show, is a choice that sounds noble and feels absolutely foolish. And that word, freak show, brings us to the uncomfortable truth that M.O.N.E.Y articulates with surgical precision. Both of these men are well past the years when they should be absorbing punishment inside a boxing ring. The physical stakes are real.